challenge the worshipful Mayor of Burnley Council, Mr. James Sumner. Thank you.
I would like to welcome members back to the meeting. I would like to notify members that this meeting is being filmed. Can I also welcome back those councillors who are returning at the recent election? Take this opportunity to welcome the new councillors to the council. Councillors Bill Brindle, Lutton Carr, Mark Payne, Aziz Raja, David Roper, and Christine White. Can I ask members of the public not to talk during the meeting, as this can be very distracting for members of the council and others listening to the debate? Can I also ask everyone to ensure any mobile devices are switched to silent and do not cause a distraction during the meeting? I would remind everyone that the use of mobile devices for the taking or making of phone calls is not permitted in the chamber. Can I please remind members that they are required to stand when addressing the council meeting? We are not expecting a fire alarm tonight, but if one should occur, please follow the officers down the stairs, head to the front of the town hall to the assembly line. Item number 5 on the agenda, minutes of the meeting the council held on 13th of April 2016. I will move these minutes. Mr Deputy Mayor, will you second those minutes? All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6 on the agenda, declarations of interest.
Are there any declarations of interest?
Item number 7 on the agenda, public questions.
No request to speak in this evening's time.
Okay. I will now move on to the items for decision by the council. Can I point out to members that items for decision by council are treated as motions? Once the proposal has been moved and seconded, members may speak once only and for a maximum of 5 minutes. Members may only speak again on an amendment. Item 8A. The Executive and their portfolios 2016-17. Following the resignation of the Executive Member for Community Services on Sunday the 15th May 2016, the leader has appointed Councillor Leon Cade as Executive Member for Community Services on Monday the 16th of May 2016. A note that the current Executive was queried to members yesterday afternoon. Members are asked to note the change to the Executive for 2016-17. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you propose the motion?
I will move the motion, Mr Mayor, and I'd just like to say a few words following on from that. First of all, I'd like to follow on from your welcoming remarks to all new members of the Council. Obviously, this is the majority of the time we all work together and we all have the interests of the borough at heart. Sometimes we have different strategies in where we want to do that and we have disagreements, but overall we all tend to work together for the good in the interests of the residents as a whole, and I'd like to welcome all the members to the council. In terms of the election, obviously this was the 4th year that the Labour administration have been in charge. Once again, we won the majority of seats that were up for election, and we got more votes than everybody else. And I think the election gave us a secure mandate to be able to carry on the work that we've done. We have more seats now than we actually had 4 years ago, so through the full cycle of elections. So I think the elections have spoken once again, and we're able to continue with the work that we're undertaking. Carrying on, Mr Mayor, I'd like to put on record my personal thanks to Councillor Harrison for the work that he's done on the executive over the last 3 years. He's done some wonderful things for this borough, supporting me personally, supporting the executive, and when you have a portfolio where you've got to basically have every household in the borough is visited once a week, and you're responsible for that portfolio, and if one thing goes wrong, you certainly know about it. And he's certainly performed excellently in that role through community services. And in addition to the operational aspects, I think he's done some fantastic work in terms of the new contract with the BASA and the transition that happened there that's almost seems seamless now, that delivered over £600,000 worth of savings to the council as well. And the work that's going on in the town centre, where the paving slabs and the colour of them, where Tony's thoughts and ideas, and we'll be walking over these for the next 30 years. So it's a really proud legacy that he has, and I'd like to welcome Council Date to the executive, who I'm sure will continue with the fine work that the Council Harrison will be doing. For members as a whole, I'd just like to spell out a few things in terms of the direction and travel of the Council going forward, and I think it's important for new members as well as ones at the job. There's 5 key points that I want to focus on. One is that we want to remain an ambitious borough, build on our proud track record over the last few years, attracting inward investments and new jobs. 1,300 new jobs created in the borough in the last 2 years. We're in the top 10 in the UK for private sector jobs growth. Lancashire, as far as Lancashire towns go, we've got the best growth prospects according to Experian, and with the top 5 North West Boomtown according to the Estates Gazette. We have a lot of things going for us. We have many challenges, but we have lots of things going for us as well. What we're going to focus on in terms of our ambitions, making sure we get the town centre refurbished, and that work is underway. We made a decision at last council as well about the reconfiguration around the markets area. We need to continue to support our schools where we can and our educational facilities, because skills and education are going to be key to prosperity in the future. And we've got a really important piece of work that's going to be coming forward in the next period of time, the preferred option for the local plan. We obviously did the issues and options some time ago now. We've been working hard on that, and we're about ready to bring that forward. And that will determine how ambitious we as a council want to be for our borough going forward. Secondly, we want to ensure our town is a clean and welcoming borough. And basically, the metrics about resident satisfaction in this area continue to go in the right direction, where public satisfaction with the maintenance of public land, parks and green spaces continues to increase. And where necessary, we will consult and consider additional measures such as public space protection orders to ensure that we make sure our borough, our town centre is welcoming to visitors. Thirdly, a fair town. We've always focused on wanting to ensure that the government cuts that are coming down the path to us, we share equally between council taxpayers, service users and benefit claimants. And we will ensure that that continues. Just for those who don't know, government support grants for us has reduced from 7.8 million in 2013-14 to 3.6 million this year. That's a reduction of 36% over that period of time. Going forward, we have a 4 million gap over the next 4 years, and the work has already started to ensure that we're fair in how we balance the books going forward. Fourthly, we want us to have an influence in Burnley. We voted to join a combined authority just prior to the elections. 14 out of the 14 councils who want to go forward with the combined authority have voted to set up a combined authority. We've got to make sure that Burnley has a massive part to play within the combined authority and work influencing what goes on. I'm particularly focused on skills and the housing issues. We have some massive issues on housing. We have some real issues about skills going forward, and I want to make sure that the devolution that we start talking about to government ensures that Burnley gets its fair share of the cake to ensure that we start to close the gap on our competitors. And finally, Mr Mayor, it's about having an efficient Burnley. An efficient Burnley Council. Over the last 2 years, we took huge steps as far as the Leisure Trust is concerned. We've re-tendered the waste contract to Abesa, and we've got a strategic partnership with Liberata. That work has got to continue in terms of how we radically reform the council and reshape it, so we continue to focus on delivering frontline services for our residents. So that's the general direction, Mr Mayor, and I move to motion. I'm pleased to welcome Councillor Kate to the executive.
Thank you, Councillor Townsend. There's a motion second.
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Any member? Mr Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Normally at these meetings are very, nobody ever says anything, we get with this vote and we all go home after about 10 minutes, but I'm very interested to hear what the leader of the council has said, and you can be assured that for things that are sensible, that, as always, as you quite rightly said, we're here to deliver the best for the people of Burnley. But I can assure you we will be scrutinising a lot of the things that he's suggested. He's mentioned the Leisure Trust. Well, we will be scrutinising the Leisure Trust. The last thing anybody in this council wants is the Leisure Trust to come back to us for any more funding. As we all know, funding is very tight. And we're presently scrutinising it, and we're looking very, very closely at the future funding arrangements for the Leisure Trust. I'm very interested in hearing speak about the skills and the education in town, and he, like me, will be horrified, absolutely horrified to hear of the closure of the UTC. A really different way of educating people into industry, into skills, into engineering, into skills, into construction. And now, after 2 years, after £11 million was spent on the building, and it's all been set up to run, the UTC is closing. This is a catastrophe for this town. But it never had a chance. I've been working closer at the moment over the last week or so. I've been looking at what's been going on. I didn't know it was closing 2 weeks ago. And for vested interest, that UTC is basically going to close. Vested interest from the existing schools who argued against young people going there because of the funding streams that they would lose. So if a young person wanted to leave one of our secondary schools and go to UTC to study engineering, to study construction, and move on as apprentices into that, the schools would argue against it because they would lose the £5,000 that these young people have. So the vested interest from the schools has put a block on it. The vested interest from the management, the initial management of it, of Training 2000. Looking into the history of what Training 2000 did, really begs to me why on earth they were ever in the beginning. The vested interest of UCLAN, the vested interest of all sorts of people involved in education in this town has dragged that UTC down. And they haven't been able to get the number of students they want to make it viable. That's a very, very sad time. And one of the things I have to say is our MP is that we've all been in the press for saying about I've given the parents of the children that go to that school home when there's no home. Well, one of the things I would have initially hoped was that she would have supported it, but that's not going to be the case. But that's not for this council, she's not here anymore. But as I say, I'm delighted that the leader of the council has explained the way forward. I'm pleased to say that we will support the things that we believe are right. We will certainly scrutinise very heavily what we think should be scrutinised. And I'm also pleased with the election result. We gained 3 seats. We are 3 more than we had before. So it's a small progress, but we are making progress. And I think it's very, very important that any council has a responsible and effective opposition. And I hope that this time we will be an effective and responsible opposition, but I can assure you we will be scrutinising whatever it comes up with in the future. If it's good, great. If it's not, we will certainly ask some questions about it.
Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Ferguson. Councillor Townsend.
Thank you. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to respond. Just a couple of points. I'd just like to absolutely stress that this executive, this administration absolutely welcome scrutiny of any decisions that we may take, and hopefully some good recommendations that go forward in terms of how we may improve any work that we may do. Just on the education, and I just kind of mention the UTC seeing the door almost to bring it up. You were the MP at the time. From what I understand, you were on the Baker Deering Trust that was underpinning a lot of the work around the UTC. You said it was a flawed model, and it was a Liberal Democrat executive in the area with the accountable body for getting all the £11 million and throwing it in. So, to say it was a flawed model, I accept that's perhaps somewhere where you want to focus your scrutiny in the future in terms of how that £11 million is going to be spent and wasted in that area. What I will also talk about as far as education is concerned, I noticed yesterday that it was published in the press about the free school and the trouble that that's now in. And notice to improve has been issued for the second time about the financial accountability of that institution. So we need to have a long, hard look at these new models of education that the government seems to think are the flavour of the month. And obviously, the Liberal Democrats think are a wonderful idea, but there seems to be a lot of money going into Burnley and very little value coming out in terms of those respects at the moment, so we need a long, hard look at. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Back to the motion. All those in favour of the motion, please show. Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8B, appointments to committees, working groups and panels. Updated details of nominations made by the political groups were couriered to members yesterday afternoon as Appendix 2 to the report. Please note that the appointments to the Lancashire Police and Crime Panel are subject to change according to the Lancashire political balance calculation, which is still to be finalised. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please move the list of committees, working groups and panels and the nominations for those committees, working groups and panels?
That's all very Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Gordon Ferguson, will you please second the motion?
I'll second that motion, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favour, please show. Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8C, appointment of chairs and vice chairs of scrutiny, regulatory and other committees. The data details of nominations for chairs and vice chairs of scrutiny, regulatory and other committees made by political groups were encouraged to members yesterday afternoon. On the appointment of chair of scrutiny committee, Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please move Councillor Tatchell to the position for chair of scrutiny committee as submitted?
I move Councillor Tatchell as chair of scrutiny, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor David Higginbotham, will you move Councillor Andrew Newhouse for the position of chair of the scrutiny committee?
I thought we were there.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I second it, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favour of Councillor Andy Tatchell, please show. All those in favour of Councillor Andrew Newhouse, please show.
Councillor Andy Tatchell is appointed chair of scrutiny committee with 27 votes to 4.
On the appointment of vice chair of the scrutiny committee, Councillor Gordon Birchall, will you move Councillor Anne Kelly for the position of vice chair of the scrutiny committee as submitted?
I so move, Mr. Mayor.
Is that seconded?
I second that, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Ada Carmichael, will you remove Councillor David Higginbotham for the position of Vice Chair of the Scrutiny Committee as submitted?
I'll move that, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Anne Kelly, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor David Higginbotham, please show.
Councillor Anne Kelly is appointed as the Vice Chair of the Scrutiny Committee, 10 votes to 4.
I will now take the other contestant appointment from each political group and block. Members may only vote once. On the appointments to the chairs and vice chairs of Audit and Standards Committee, Development Control Committee and Licensing Committee. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please move the Labour Group nominations for chairs and vice chairs as submitted?
I move the Labour Group nominations for chairs and vice chairs, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I'll second those, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor David Higginbotham, will you please move the Conservative Group nominations for chairs and vice chairs as submitted?
I so move, Mr Mayor.
Is that seconded?
I second it, Mr Mayor.
All those in favour of the Labour Group nominations, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of the Conservative Group nominations, please show.
The Labour Group nominations as submitted are appointed to the positions of Chairs and Vice Chair, 26 votes to 4.
Item 8D, appointments to outside bodies. Data details of the nominations to outside bodies made by the political groups were accrued to members yesterday afternoon, Appendix 1 to the report. More nominations have been received than places on a number of contested outside bodies. I will take a separate vote on these in a moment. Councillor Mark Townsend, with the exception of the contested positions, will you please move the list of appointments to outside bodies?
I so move, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Gordon Bergerson, do you second the motion?
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Any member? All those in favour, please show. Those against? The motion is carried. On the contested appointment of an experienced opposition member to Burnley and Pendle Citizens Advice Bureau, there are 2 nominations for 1 place, so members may only vote once. Councillor Gordon Bergerson, will you please move the Liberal Democrat nomination as submitted?
I so move, Mr Mayor.
Is that seconded?
Second that, Mr Mayor.
Councillor David Higginbotham, will you please move the Conservative nomination as submitted?
I so move, Mr Mayor.
Is that seconded?
I second it, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Margaret Brindle, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Ada Carmichael, please show.
Councillor Margaret Brimble has been appointed to Burnley and Pendle Citizens Advice
you. I will now take the remaining contested appointments from each political group and block. Members may only vote once. On the appointments to Burnley Leisure Trust Directors, Burnley Pendle and Rosendale Council for Voluntary Service Executive Committee, LCC Health Scrutiny Committee, Over 50s Forum and Burnley Acorn Fund from October 2016. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please move the Labour Group nominations as submitted?
Move the Labour Group nomination, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I'll second those, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Gordon Burgessel, will you please move the Liberal Democrat nominations as submitted?
I so move, Mr Mayor.
Is that seconded?
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor David Higginbotham, will you please move the Conservative nominations as submitted?
I so move, Mr Mayor.
Is that seconded?
I second it, Mr Mayor.
All those in favour of the Labour Group nominations, please show. All those in favour of the Liberal Democrat Group nominations, please show. All those in favour of the Conservative Group nominations, please show.
The Labour Group nominations as submitted are appointed to the positions of the outside bodies.
Okay, thank you. Item 8E, appointments to the Independent Remuneration Panel. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please move the appointments to the IRP?
So move, Mr Mayor.
Councillor John Armour, will you second the motion?
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Any member? All those in favour, please show. Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8F, updates to the Constitution. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please move the updates to the Constitution?
I move the updates, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor John Armour, will you second the motion?
I'll second the motion, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Any member? All those in favour, please show. Those against? The motion is carried. Item number 9 on the agenda, questions. Questions understanding order number 10 too.
None have been received, Mr Mayor.
Well, thank you everybody. Very short and sweet. That concludes the business. Thank you.
Members, please stand.